Hello and welcome. Thanks for joining me here on the set today for this edition of Woman to Woman. I am your host, Anntricia Bray Smith, your professional mentor and speaker. It is indeed a blessing to greet you here once again on the platform so that we can have another amazing conversation. So for those of you who continue to rock with me from week to week, thank you for showing up and for tuning in. And for those that are new, let me just say welcome. And I look forward to greeting you here every week here on the Woman to Woman set. We are here continuing in season 5, where we have talked about some pretty relevant, awesome things. Whether it's relationships, business, money, whatever it is, guys, I thank you for being here with me. Today, I want to talk about 3 things that provoke insecurity. 3 things that provoke insecurity. And I think it's time that we talk about more of these sensitive topics that we're not hearing and we're not talking about, but yet we're impacted by these things in our lives. I was just sitting talking with my girlfriend early in the week, and, we're all different and we're all dealing with things, and we all deal with things in different manners. And so with that being said, one of the things that kept surfacing, or that I kept beginning to notice as we're going to different places and we're traveling and looking around and visiting, just out exploring and enjoying life, is that you notice a lot of insecurities, whether it's in relationships, whether it's in, you just meeting people and then having conversations, and the different behaviors that you see as you're out and about and you're observing things, the different cultures. And so I thought this would be a great topic to bring to the platform today, to talk about 3 things that provoke insecurities. And when I talk about things, this can be widespread. This is just not narrowed down to relationships. This could be in your business. This could be in how you move in your business. This also can be how you make moves in your financial journey. And so take this to heart and really look at your individual situation for what it is. Not only that, guys, if you enjoy the content of this podcast today, please share it with somebody else. Many of us are dealing with things. We're dealing with insecurities in our relationships, in our careers, and even in our financial situations right now, due to the inflation and some of the things that we are experiencing. And we don't know where all these different emotions and insecurities and things are coming from. And so share this out with somebody in hopes that it will benefit them, just as it's going to benefit you today here on the platform. Nonetheless, I'm not going to hold you long. I know that we all have things that we need to be doing and getting done, and we can think of a million things when we're sitting down to do something productive. So let's just jump right in and get started. So one of the first things that I want to talk about that provoke insecurities is past experiences. And, we all have those negative emotions attached to past experiences. When mom tells us when we're little kids, don't touch that, it's hot. Don't touch the stove, it's hot. Yet we go over and touch the stove anyway. And we realize that it's hot, and it traumatizes us, and we burned ourselves, and now we need all this attention, and now we're in pain for a while. That's no different than any other experience that we experience in our lives. We have relationships that didn't work out, and it left a bad taste in our mouth. We've been on a job to where maybe we weren't treated fairly, or maybe there was biases that were overlooked and were never dealt with, and it caused us some kind of emotional trauma. Maybe we've been to the point that we're so poor financially that we didn't know where our next meal was coming from. And now that we have a little money, you know, we're insecure in how we move and what we do. You know, it's no different. Our past experiences impact decisions that we make every day. And really, no matter what area of our lives that are affected through insecurity, those past experiences, if we don't put a restraint on it, if we can't get it contained and under control, it breeds anxiety that causes us to sit and live and function through the dysfunction of insecurity. So past experiences. And sometimes our experiences aren't always as easy to get over or to overcome or to move past as we'd like them to be, because we want to protect that sacred space. We don't want to feel that emotion or that feeling that was attached to that experience again. So we go through everything looking through the lens of what happened in the past, or what those past situations were. And so it's really hard sometimes to move past the insecurity. Number 2, lack of self-confidence. And I don't know how many people I've seen and I've noticed that look for confidence outside of self. But if you don't have the confidence within, to know your worth, to know your value, to stand confident and firm in what you believe, to stand confident and firm in your flaws and all, you're going to start exhibiting behaviors of insecurity, or you're already breeding those, exhibiting those behaviors of insecurity. It shows. And sometimes we try to hide it. Take me, I'm just a plain old girl from Oklahoma, born and raised in poverty from a single teenage parent, raised in a little shack of a house without indoor plumbing. I'm just a plain girl. A plain girl goes to the city. She sees the girls that are dressed nice in their high heels, the makeup, they look flawless. If I were not confident in myself, I could easily look and be intimidated. I could easily be in a relationship to where I think that everyone is out to get me or to get my mate. I could easily be in a job to where I feel so poorly about my skills that I'm intimidated and insecure about everybody else who can do something just a little bit better than I can. So lack of self-confidence provokes insecurity. So how do we deal with that? How do we get our confidence up? Your confidence comes from knowing and affirming who you are and what you can do, whether it's well or not so well. And not being so intimidated when someone can do things better, or they look a little better, or they have more. But to build a relationship to find out what you can do to come up just a little bit higher. What can you do to get that skill? What does it take to get that skill so that you stand out just amongst the people in the job site? What can you do to learn that lesson that you need to learn so that you can get promoted? What do you need to do to secure that job that will bring you in more financial security so that you can continue to build and generate wealth? What can you do to, what can you learn, or how can you brand, or who can you work with, or who can you connect with to get you to where you feel like you need to be to get that confidence or to gain that confidence? How about affirming you in relationships? How about knowing that when you've done all that you can, it's enough? It's enough, and being okay with that. Maybe that's not your lane or your area of expertise. Being confident in what you do know. You know something that somebody else don't know. You're better at doing something that no one else can outdo you. No one else can beat you at being you. You must love, embrace, and cherish you. That will give you the self-confidence in knowing that you are created to be just who you are, and that's enough. That is enough. Personal development helps breed self-confidence. Professional development, self-confidence, and it is everywhere. You don't always have to pay for what you need. Sometimes it's just a matter of taking time to research and to put yourself in the environment in that area to where you feel lacking and insecure, so that you can learn and you can draw from that energy and apply it to the areas of your life where you need it most. Last but not least, the thing that provokes insecurity is fear. And I know we've all heard it, and I know you knew it was coming. Fear. And we all have some fear, some level of fear. Fear of success, fear of lack, fear of the what if. And all of those things wrapped up in fear is holding you hostage in your current state. Many of us rather stay in situations to where we know what to expect, rather than step and take one step farther to the hope or to the possibility of something being just a little bit greater. Most of our opportunities, most of our dreams, most of our goals are aborted prematurely because of fear. If we had just made one more phone call, if we had just gave it one more try, if we had just accepted one more no, if we had just give it one more day, if we had just given ourselves grace to be okay and to try again, many of us would not be sitting stagnant in a situation due to fear. Fear keeps us in bondage. It holds us hostage, and it will not allow us to reap the harvest or the benefits of the abundance. Think about some of the things that you've desired to do that you didn't do because you talked yourself out of it. Maybe due to past experiences, maybe due to your lack of confidence. But at the root of it all sat fear. And it's a human emotion that we've all experienced. Even some of us, even me sitting here right now, I can see some areas of fear fear of success, of expanding, of the unknown. I can see some of those popping up into my own life, and it does provoke insecurity. We have to be okay with not knowing the details to everything. Because just as we're trying to figure things out, oftentimes if we take just one more step, we will see that it's already been figured out for us. All we had to do is have the mental muscle or capacity and the physical ability and muscle and capacity and to know how to just believe that if we just be patient, if we just step out on hope, rather than being insecure, all it took was just that one more piece of effort to get what we were expecting in the first place. So the 3 things that provoke insecurities. 1, your past experiences. Are you going to continue to allow your past experiences to dictate the rest of your life? Or are you at that point to where you're saying enough is enough? It's time to move past this place and move on to something much greater that you were destined for. It's yours. If you don't occupy it, it won't be occupied. It's designed and created just for you. So what are you waiting on? The past is behind you. And it's behind you for a reason, because your future is so much brighter. Lack of self-confidence. Man, I have learned to be confident in who I am. Flaws and all, we all have them. There's nobody perfect, but yet I'm going to use personal development and professional development to get me to the place that I desire to be. And that's in my skills, that's in my relationships, that is in my business, that is in my finances. It's everything collaborated together to help me, myself, realize that I don't have to fit in. I was created to stand out. And even in a room full of people, because I am who I am and created by the best creator in the universe, then I know that my confidence resonates within, and know I can't do everything best or better or look better or have more financial than everyone else. But I am secure enough and confident enough in me, in who I am, to know that I'm not in competition with anyone else, because there's only one me here in this earth. And with that, I'm confident enough to know that everything that is designed and created for me is for me, and no one else can have it. And number 3, fear. And we know that we've all experienced some level of fear. Yet, I want you to promise today that you will no longer allow fear to cause you to sit in insecurity and abort your visions and your dreams and your hopes prematurely. I hope that this has been helpful for you today. If it has, go ahead and send me an email. Send me your comments in an email to thewoman2woman podcast@gmail.com. Again, that's thewoman2woman podcast@gmail.com. I'd love to hear your comments, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on what you think provokes insecurity. Until next time, I am your host, Anntricia Bray Smith, your professional mentor and speaker.